What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 119 of the Bros Talking Soccer podcast. My name is Dave Knittle, here with my two brothers, Christian and Matt, to discuss stories from around the soccer world. Christian, hello.
Hello, David.
Matthew, hello.
Hello, sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way to get my phone to stay up.
Yeah, so we don't have a Blair Witch Project situation happening throughout the podcast, so bear with us on that. Also, we'll hope that Matt's phone doesn't overheat, which... I don't know.
It is charging again.
It's not looking great.
Let me unplug it.
Okay. All right. Matt, I appreciate the Bros Talking Soccer sweatshirt you're rocking right there.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Merchandise.
Looking good. Merch, and it matches with the Sixers and everything. Oh, my God. Just so coordinated.
Oh, my God. Your outfit looks amazing.
Hey, Dave, I like your shirt.
Oh, thanks. I got this from the football kit box.
It's like Barca a little bit.
It's not. It's Burnt Green Spartak FC. No idea where they're from. They got a whole bunch of flags going on there, and they were established in 2012. So there's that. Hello, people on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please feel free. Say hello. Interact with us as we go along here. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I think that's all for my little intro here. We have the trivia question ready. Christian, do you have something you would like to say?
No.
Or were you just sighing?
I guess I was just sighing. I think I was just breathing heavily.
Breathing? Okay. All right. So, yeah, we got breathing is going to be the theme of this podcast. We'll see if Matt can keep his breath under control. And
I was definitely planning on breathing throughout this podcast.
All right, that's
well,
good.
Just take it easy, Matt. You know, you got to take it easy with the breathing, you know? So that's that. All right. I think we're ready to jump into things, right?
I'm so ready.
Okay. All right. Let me restart that then. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 119 of the Bros Talking Soccer podcast. My name is Dave Knittle, here with my two brothers, Christian and Matt, to discuss stories from around the soccer world. Christian, hello. How are you doing today?
Dave, hello. It's great to hear from you again. So I'm just having the best weekend. So everything's going well. All of my teams are winning. Teams I play for, teams I watch, teams I support. I had a party yesterday, and it went off without a hitch. Everyone had a great time. It's just, Dave, this is the life. Matt, you too. This is the life.
I am happy to hear that. Sounds like...
Oh, wait. Listeners, you too. This is the life.
This is the life. All right. There you go. Christian's having a great time. Matt, hopefully you're having a good time as well. I think you've had fun this weekend.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun this weekend. First weekend, kind of going out in Houston by myself. My girlfriend was away. So I got very drunk at the bar across the street for a couple days in a row there. So it was nice.
Got to catch up on some sleep tonight. And then you got work tomorrow. Welcome to the real world. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. I get to go in a little bit later the first couple days, so it's nice not having to wake up super early.
Nice, yeah. Well, guys, I'm having a fantastic weekend as well. The weather is getting really nice out here. You know, been laying out, trying to get some sun, try to get a little base tan and whatnot. And so overall, it's been great. Christian, do you have a trivia question for us this week?
David, I do have a trivia question, and it's about Messi's kind of involved. No, it's not about Messi, but it's about Barcelona and Real Madrid. So, do you guys know the aggregate score of all the games since 2008? So since Pep Guardiola originally took over, do you know the aggregate score of the Barcelona versus Real Madrid games?
Can we have some sort of hint, or are we just have to go into this and just say random numbers?
Do you want me to tell you what the difference in the scores is? No, I don't want to do that.
All right. I guess we'll give our best guess and at least tell us how many times they played. Can we at least have some sort of hint?
I will let you know before you answer later.
Okay. All right. We'll think on that, listeners. Hopefully you'll think as well, and we'll give our guesses. Matt, over to you.
All right. Thanks. It's Matt's Megs, because Dave usually says the title of my section, but he's feeling a little lazy today. But hi, everyone. Welcome to Matt's Megs. Today, we're going to talk about... Let's start with talking about Real Madrid. So today, they played... Did they play... I'm actually not even sure who they played today.
They played Huesca today.
Okay, yeah. I saw it was 1-1 at half. But did either of you know the final score of that game?
Yeah, it was 3-2. Benzema scored in the 89th minute.
Oh, wow. Fun. Great information about Real Madrid.
So prepared for Matt's Megs today.
Well, that's not the important part of this topic. So
why are we talking about it?
What do you mean?
It's all right.
Okay,
Keep going.
so Zinedine Zidane, new/old manager of Real Madrid, decided to play his son Luka Zidane in their league match today. Who is, I mean, at least the third option on the team, and having two kind of world-class goalies. It's like kind of a a dodgy thing to kind of be doing at this point in the season and things like that. So. Christian, I'll start with you. What's like your general overview of like, are you okay with him playing his son at this point in the season?
We got a real Bob Michael Bradley situation happening over there in Madrid. I think this is okay to do, but I don't know how much I appreciate the decision, considering they have Courtois and Navas still on the roster, who are clearly more experienced and probably better goalkeepers for now. This is a young guy. I guess they're already out of the league, so there's no harm in really playing some players for more experience. But this is his son, so it is always going to be talked about, and it's going to be a little bit iffy. But he is, I think, the highest rated of all his children, and I know they all play and they're all pretty good. But this guy's supposed to be the one that's like really announces himself, and I know he's a goalkeeper, so it's a little bit different, especially when your dad is Zidane. But yeah.
He is also Zidane.
Oh my God! What? They both are named Zidane? That's same crazy. Same. I don't really have that big of an issue with it, but it does look bad with Courtois and Navas just sitting out of this game.
Yeah, Dave.
So, yeah, I think it looks really bad, and Matty Nips, shout him out, who's joining us live on YouTube. I saw him on Twitter say that he was playing his son because he's already, Zinedine has already said that he's not going to re-sign him, and so they're playing him for a possible transfer. So I guess if that's actually true, you can kind of understand it, because beyond that, there's no way he should be playing over Navas and Courtois, in my opinion. So maybe that's a reason. So what do you guys think about that concept?
Yeah, so when I got to speak, that's what I was going to bring up. I saw that people are saying like it's like nepotism and things like that, but I think it's like a legitimate business thing where he's trying to move, a goalie and get money for him if he's never played a league game, or I think he has played like one last year, or played in a couple cups, but he's not like a regular first team player, so just getting him experience, I mean, it's going to drive his price up a little bit. So I think it was mainly a business decision.
If his contract's up this summer, then it doesn't really matter. Like, he's leaving for free anyways, right? So that's what I'm a little bit confused about this whole situation.
He's a teenager, so there's Bosman rules, so someone's going to have to pay.
But isn't that still oh, I guess if he plays more, I think the calculation might mean that okay, all right, so I guess that actually might be a good business decision by Zinedine then.
Yeah, I didn't really put together that he would be out of a contract, but how that would benefit them for money.
I don't think Bosman was the right word. I think that's just any free agent. But
no. It all came about at the same time, because once players got free agency, that's when training compensation and solidarity payments came into the picture as well. So it's all kind of related.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add on this?
Nope.
All right, staying in Madrid and transfers. So Marcelo, left back, Real Madrid, has decided change of heart since Zidane came back and is no longer leaving to go to Juventus, and he hasn't officially signed, I don't think, anything yet, but he said he's staying at the Bernabeu, and now he's back to being the first choice left back. I don't even know who the backup was that they were playing this year when Marcelo was being benched, which is like crazy to me considering how important he was for this team for how long is it, since like 2006, I think you want to say? No, 2008 or something like that. I think he's been there.
He was playing left mid back then, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's still such an important part of this team, and it's just like crazy to me that they just kind of put him on the bench. One coach that comes in and you like don't play a player like that. So, Dave, I'll start with you. Do you think this looks bad on, does this look bad on the club or the player in any way? Like changing your mind halfway through the season?
No, I don't think it looks bad on the club or the player. If anything, I just think they need to handle his transition out of, because I mean he is getting older. There will be a time when I'm getting a little bit of an echo, so apologies.
I'm getting that too.
Okay, so let me try to maybe talk quieter. There will be a time when they need to have a new left back, and that time is short. is in the near future. That's what I'm trying to say. And for that reason, I think that as long as he's on board with handling that transition and whatnot, I think this can be good. But it can be very tough managing a player out. I think Ryan Giggs went about it kind of in a really good way for Manchester United. And, he just sort of seamlessly sort of transitioned out, went into coaching, and then, sort of moved on. So if they can handle a situation like that for Marcelo, it could be good. But he's already kind of made a somewhat of a scene at Real Madrid before. So if he can't handle that transition, this could become a problem.
Fair enough. Christian?
It is a little weird that he's staying now, but it does make sense at the same time because Zidane was probably the manager that got the best out of him and the entire team. So he believes in the project that Zidane's building at Real Madrid. I think that there's going to be a lot of turnover this summer, and the team's going to look a lot different next year. So if he wants to be a part of a new generation, which really he's going to be on the back end of his career during, then okay, he's going to stay. But I think Juventus kind of makes sense. There's a lot of older players there that are just running out their careers, but they're still very, very talented, and they really play well there. He's used to playing with Ronaldo. Anyway, so he'd be playing in that same team again, trying to cross the ball to him. And obviously we know how deadly Ronaldo is. And with Marcelo, those two were really, really, really talented. But him staying at Madrid is fine. I still don't know what's going to happen with that. I'd be surprised if he does stay at this point because of the turnover I expect to see this summer in Madrid. But if he stays, it's pretty good for the club. I think it looks good. They're keeping some of their experienced kind of club legends almost.
Yeah. Yeah, so this summer, like I was seeing things that they're not confirmed yet, but it's like there's speculation that they're going to spend upwards of like 400 million this summer, Real Madrid. And I'm like, how is that even possible?
On Mbappe, and then who else are they going to buy?
Yeah, like I keep saying things. It's like, Sterling, Hazard, Van Dijk, Koulibaly. It's like all those players. Like I don't know. It's like they're becoming United, where every single player that might leave their club is going to Manchester United for a couple months until they don't go there. So I mean, it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be interesting to see like that transition period, even though they're going back to the old coach. But we'll see. Anything else?
Well, they could theoretically spend 400 million because the way financial fair play works, it's over a 3-year period, and they really haven't spent a ton of money over the last couple of years. So it could be a situation where they've been like saving up to just go crazy this summer. So I don't know. It's not out of the realm of possibility, especially with how much money they make. Yeah.
So financial fair play, if you they made 100 million from Ronaldo last summer. Does that all get added back in? Like you're allowed to spend an extra 100 million?
Yeah, over the last 3 years of sales.
Yeah, it's over
okay. I didn't
3
know
years.
if it was like a perfect matchup or if like some of that money had to go into other industries or if it's just transfer budget.
No. So, but they can also make money through like regular business and sponsorship and whatnot, and that can fund player sales. But no, all of that goes into the same kind of pot of money of revenue.
Okay.
Accounting.
Thanks, Dave.
Accounting. Profits, P&L,
expense.
All right. You guys done?
Yes.
You guys done over there? All right. Sticking in Spain and with Real Madrid's rival Barcelona, and also sticking with Brazil with Malcolm. They signed him last summer from
Roma.
No, Roma.
Or did they take him under the nose of Roma?
No, they took him. He was from France.
Yeah.
The blue team in France.
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. Yeah,
PSG.
Yes.
Lyon.
Knock it off over there. So, so they bought him last summer, 41 million, and he has not gotten much first team minutes this season. And Barcelona have set the price up to 80 million for him to leave this summer. I don't know. Who do I start with last? Christian, I'll start with you. What do you think of Barcelona? And, do you think anyone is going to match that price?
No, that would be ridiculous for anyone to pay that amount for a guy who no one really knows how good he can be. He's an unknown product almost at this point. I know he was good for Bordeaux, and Roma were really interested in bringing him in. But Barcelona signed him, and he's rarely gotten on the field. And when he is not impressed. I think he's an average striker. He's got talent, but he doesn't look like he's going to just light up the pitch with any team that he's on. But if he's in a role where maybe he's playing in a 2-striker set, he might be able to play with someone. But right now, I don't see him leading the line on his own. He's not that kind of striker, and I don't know if he has what's the matter right now? What's happening?
No, it's just funny. You just wrote off his entire career for not performing at Barcelona in his first year. It's just like.
Well, I mean, if you have Messi next to you and you can't perform, I don't know who's going to help you perform.
So like Coutinho.
Hey, Coutinho's doing fine. Everyone's overreacting. I've watched some of their games.
All right, so I'm just going to jump in here with my opinion, even though nobody asked.
No, we're good. We're good.
So
we're okay.
With this, is this like where's the 80 million coming from? Is that Barcelona's like price tag that they set for his release clause?
Yeah.
I think the accounting.
I don't know if it's. I'm not sure if it's their release clause because aren't all their release clauses like ridiculous?
Well, yeah, because and that's what I was going to bring up. Because in Spain they always set them like ridiculously high, and in Spain you have to have a release clause. And I want to say Italy's another place where you have to have a release clause or something like that as well. So if this is just 80 million for his release clause, I can somewhat understand it. But nobody in their right mind should pay 80 million for him. He is a talented player, and he's still on the younger side. But after his performances this year, I don't think anyone could justify paying that amount of money.
So like Barcelona is also kind of in a transition period. Like what other players do you guys think they're going to bring in, or like who will they replace with? I know they have a lot of like midfielders now, but like on the wings and like going up forward, like who do you think they'll get to replace some of these guys?
Isn't Jovic the Eintracht Frankfurt striker really high on their list? I think that's his name. I think he's a real up and comer that they're looking at replacing Suarez. I read that rumor somewhere. I know he's really highly rated. Beyond that, I really have no idea. I mean, they're Barcelona. Theoretically, anybody could go there.
Yeah. Very true. Christian, I know you love this team, so do you have any ideas?
I don't really love them as much anymore, but I love Messi.
You love them.
No, I love Messi. I'm pretty done with Barcelona at this point. I don't really love the way they play. So
wow, just like that, yeah. just like that, just flip that switch.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, they're not Liverpool, so whatever. They're not the Union. They're better than the Union. So I think expects Barcelona to do this summer is probably bring De Ligt in to partner PK at the back. That's what I'm guessing happens. I know they have Leggett, who's been playing really well this year, but it looks like what?
Wait, to partner PK or MTT?
MTT's leaving. It seems like they're going to let him leave this summer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He hasn't been playing at all really this year because he got.
I know that.
Leggett came in and he's been starting almost all their games. He was their signing from Sevilla this summer. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe TK gets a little bit less time, but I think that they need to bring in a right back. Jordi Alba's obviously fine. Their goalkeeping's fine. De Ligt, I'm assuming, goes to Barcelona because he's going to partner with De Jong, who's also coming in. They're really going to revamp that midfield with Artur. Busquets will still be that holding mid, but they really need to start looking for a replacement for him. And definitely Suarez up front. They're going to need to either replace him or buy a really, really talented winger to play on one side so Messi can just play in that central role.
Interesting. I did see today article came up where De Ligt I saw is considering Juventus. He said he would love to play at Juventus for like their leadership and things like that. So
he has said that about every big team in Europe now, it seems.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean he'll definitely end up at one of the big probably 5-10 teams, one of them. But
is everyone 5'10" on that team?
5'10".
Yes.
Okay.
Great height. It's a great height.
Dave wishes he was 5'10".
I know, I'm 5'9" and like a half.
Yeah. What's your license say though?
Do licenses have height? If it does, I think I put 5'9" because I don't like to. I like to be underestimated. People expecting 5'9". All of a sudden, I show up 5'9" and 3/4. Oh, wow!
Wow. So humble.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I like how you look to your fans over to your right.
Well, Kristen's laughing here, so I just want to.
You got one laugh.
Yeah, I just want to. I want to circle back. Luka Jovic is the striker's name for Eintracht Frankfurt.
Nice. All right. Anything else?
I like how you pronounce that.
Frankfurt. Hallo.
Wie geht's?
No, all right, Matt. Sorry, we're going off the rails here.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough of you guys adding things. We're gonna wrap up Matt's Megs, listen to a little bit of music, and we'll be right back.
Oh, good stuff. I'm trying to be more silly, guys.
Oh my god. Our same moment today was insane.
Oh yeah, Christian and I texted the exact same text at the exact same time to each other.
The Liverpool group. It was weird.
Same.
And then Dave sent the same GIF.
Yeah.
Different in a same type.
It's insane.
Insane. Wow, that's
like
insane.
Two sames.
Did you guys watch the last season?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good. I love that.
He did it.
Yeah, I know.
I did it.
I've been watching the Umbrella Academy. Highly recommend.
Interesting.
It's not a fun show. Actually, it's got some quirky elements, so I recommend it. But I'm
not gonna watch that.
Not like it's got superhero kind of vibes to it, Christian. So
maybe I'll watch that.
Yeah. So I thought you might like it. All right, you guys want to do a stadium scene plug?
No.
All right. And Matt, I didn't introduce your segment because one of the times I introduced your segment, and then you're like, "Oh, I was going to call it a different name," but since Dave already called it this, so now I'm not.
I don't even. What would I even call it?
What are you, Dave Domestic Dive still, right? Is that what
Dave's Domestic Dives, yeah. But all right, whenever you guys are ready.
Check out our partners over at Stadium Scene. They have information about all the different stadiums for any sport in North America, specifically US and Canada. You can check out events in the area, bars and restaurants to check out, where to park, what to do around the stadium, all of that good stuff. Matt, what else do they have over there?
They also partner with content creators like ourselves and offer you things like blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts, all that great stuff. Again, check them out at stadiumscene.tv, and it's not just soccer; it's all types of sports. So again, check them out.
Dave breaking in here with some more info for you about stadiumscene.tv. If you have a podcast blog or any content, you can join their partner portal and pay a monthly fee, and then you get boosted with promotion on their social media, promotion on their website, and all of that. So if you have a podcast, make sure to check it out as well. So go check them out, stadiumscene.tv. Guys, all three of us were involved. Oh my gosh, that was just like such a great read. Christian, whenever you're ready. Clock's ticking.
I'm not ready.
9, 10.
Okay. Welcome to Christian's Corner. It's time for the fun part of the show. So, Dave, I'll start with your thoughts on this. So, Messi was being painted as a son of a bitch, as some may call it, in Argentina because he withdrew from the national team after the first game. He wasn't really injured. He was carrying a little bit of a knock. But Argentina are really, really harsh on Messi pretty much at every moment. I don't know what your thoughts on this are, but do you think that they are too harsh to put too much pressure on him? Or do you think he has to rise above it and really act in a different manner in response to the way they are treating him?
No, they're being absolutely ridiculous. First off, these are friendlies, and he's in the middle of his club season. Like, I can kind of understand because they kind of view him as an outsider because he left for Spain at an early age, and there's that whole vibe. But he's done so much for them, and I think he's just underappreciated, and they just have unrealistic expectations. So, no, like none of this is on Messi. All of this 100% is on Argentina fans, and they need to get their shit together, to be honest.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think there's definitely an overreaction from, Argentina media and supporters. Like Dave said, it's friendlies. It's not like this is a major tournament. I mean, I do understand frustrations where you have the player that could probably be the best player in history, and he's never won he's never won you a trophy at the international level. I know.
Matt, are we going there?
No, we're not. But I'm just saying, for a country that's had success in the past, like the fans, that's just what they expect. I'm not blaming him for that. I'm just saying that's what people expect. So it's like I will somewhat understand them being frustrated with, maybe thinking he doesn't take it that seriously. But I think this is a time where it's definitely an overreaction. And I know, like, before, like, a lot of people in Argentina have problems with the media and with, like, the national team. So I feel like I've heard so many people retire from the Argentinian
However you want to say it,
national
Matt.
team. Yeah.
Like
retire from the national team and come back. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like this is just a normal thing there.
All right. I don't really consider this a normal thing. This is pretty crazy. But yeah, so Valverde came out and said Messi returned because he's been carrying an injury since December, which is absolutely insane that they've been playing him. Dave, what do you think about that information that Barcelona continues to play him even though he is carrying an injury and not letting him?
Well, I mean, he's been good. So, I mean, I feel like, what do they say? I feel like nobody plays an entire season at 100%, and everybody's carrying knocks throughout the year. So, I mean, you can be injured, but still be able to play through it, and clearly he's able to. So, from that perspective, I mean, Barcelona pays his contract, and, he's still doing well. It's not like he's vastly underperforming or anything like that. So, I'm fine with that aspect of it.
Do you think Messi should come out and say, I need a rest if he is feeling that pain? Or do you think that he should continue to say, hey, I'm fine, I'll just fight through it?
Well, it depends. I'm sure he's having conversations with the doctors. Like these guys are athletes at the highest level, and they know their bodies. And so, like, even in the USA friendly, like Matt Miazga had a situation, and he came over to the sideline, was getting a drink of water, and he was just communicating with the training staff. He was just letting them know, hey, I'm not 100%. And so it's just having those conversations, is knowing their bodies and knowing that, and he still finished the friendly. So, and that was just one kind of recent situation that jumps to mind. Like, I'm sure Messi is communicating with doctors, and they're running all kinds of tests, especially with, modern technology in the way clubs like Barcelona, which are on the forefront of all that stuff, they know what he can handle.
All right, Matt, what do you think about Messi playing through the pain and Valverde's comments?
Yeah, well, I think Dave covered most of it. Like, at professional athletes at the highest level, a lot of them are hurt. Like, Evra played half the season with a broken rib after the fight with Onyewu. There's like you hear this stuff all the time, and like, I think at this point I understand, like, you are going to play through injuries, and then when you bring it up, it's a lot of times it's seen as an excuse. Like, now, in like all sports, it's like LeBron, he's starts out for the season, and they came out saying, oh, he should have been out 6 months. And it's like, well, is this really the best time to announce that you didn't make the playoffs? And you're like, oh, well, he should have been out for 6 months. It was like, well, you didn't make the playoffs anyway, and now your player could be more injured. It's like, that's just stupid. It seems like an excuse. It happens in soccer. It happens in a lot of sports. It's pretty much every sport I can think of. People play through injuries, so I'm not blaming anyone for this.
Okay. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else to add on that topic?
Nope.
No.
All right. Wow. Okay. Very stern no from Matt there. No. All right. So SKC, Sporting Kansas City, won 7-0 this week.
7-1. 7-1.
You're right, 7-1.
Sorry, I meant to tell you that.
Yeah, no, I did. I saw it. I watched all the highlights, and that was just not bad. They scored a late goal. So they were up 7-0 at one point. So in games like this, I just want to get your guys' opinion. I don't know. What do you think it is too much, or teams are running up the scores or trying to embarrass their opponents other than just acting professional? Matt, I'll start with you.
So I don't have a problem with it, scoring goals, because at some point, no matter what, like, it's going to be frustrating if they're just keeping the ball from you and not even going for a goal. Like, that's also extremely frustrating. And I didn't think this situation was necessarily them running up the score. So I watched, like, some of the highlights too. And the one where the 16-year-old scores is like, they didn't try to even score there. It was like, that goal was just so given to him. Like, I was like confused.
Describe it for people.
The defender, so the center back, like, wins the challenge. He gets the ball. It's probably like a 2-on-2 at the time. It seems like nobody was running at this point in the match, and he takes maybe 5 dribbles across his own 18 and tries to dribble past people. And the 16-year-old, I don't know his name,
Gianluca Busio.
Right, on SKC, just takes the ball from him at 12 yards out and just slots it home. Like, it was like the most ridiculous goal I've seen at the highest level. Most ridiculous. I won't say the most ridiculous, but very
Oh, we saw
amateur.
Karius roll the ball in the Champions League. So
We saw freaking Tottenham today. Just give goals
but
away.
that's
not ridiculous. I know, but at the time,
being stupid. Like, I don't know.
But at the time, it's just like things like that, and the point of the game is like this Liverpool team. Getting so lucky.
We're not going to go down that path.
All right, yeah. So I think that there is a point where it starts to just be demoralizing, and you're kind of risking being injured or just really upsetting the opponents. But 7-1, I don't think is at that point. I think it's once you get closer to 9 or 10 goals that starts to be really just pushing the limit a little bit and almost is disrespectful. But at the end of the day, this is a professional sport, and you're trying to build up your goal difference because that can be a tiebreaker later or your head-to-head record. So I guess you have to do what you have to do. But just being someone who's played, like I'd much rather lose 6 or 7 and the other person just keep the ball rather than knowing that they can get to 12. This hasn't happened to me. I just want everyone to know. But I'm just saying, if that was to happen, I would just rather them keep the ball after like 7 goals than do that. All right? Anyone have anything to add on this?
Well, sure. I would love to give my opinion on this whole situation.
Well, I didn't ask for yours. So.
Yeah, I know you didn't ask, so I'm just going to have to jump in here. I don't have a problem with this. I mean,
that's why I asked. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Well, yeah, but I don't have a problem with this situation. Similar to what Christian said, I mean, it's league play, and goal difference is a tiebreaker. I mean, knowing MLS wins is the first tiebreaker, then it's goal difference, and then it's goals scored. So I have no problem with them doing this. If this was a knockout round game and this was like either single elimination or the second leg, and they were just running up the score, then it might be a little bit different. But in the league, I never have an issue with running up the score.
You guys just throwing slight digs at Man City for winning 9-0 in the League Cup and 7-0 in Champions League.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They're so disrespectful.
No, I really don't have that much. These guys are professionals. Like, this isn't like I don't know, Tiddlywinks or whatever. You know, you're not playing Tiger.
You got to laugh there.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Exactly. Like, this is pro soccer. Like, these guys are getting paid. Like, they need to go out there and be professional. If they're getting their ass kicked, I mean, what? I don't know what more you can do. I mean, when you see. Like, I feel like some women's games were like 200 and something to nothing, or like when you see some situations like that, all right, that might be a little bit much, but anything in single digits, like I have no issues with.
So I do not think there has been a game.
Actually, Tiddly?
No, there has never been a game where someone has scored 200 goals, right?
No, there has been. There was a situation, I think, where the one team just kept scoring own goals or something like that. I'll look this up while we move on.
200?
That's like in FIFA when people wouldn't quit, but they would just keep kicking the ball back and scoring goals on themselves out of anger. Yeah, I remember.
Back in anger. What they say.
That's what they say, yeah. Good point. All right. Anything else to add on this topic?
No.
There was a 31-0 match. That's the largest international soccer, but 149-0 in Madagascar in 2002. 149-0. There you go.
Sounds like a cracking match.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Christian.
A lot of goals. That's right. All right. So, last topic I'm going to discuss here is going to be Liverpool, because why not? No, it's going to be Liverpool, City, and United all in one. It's Jamie Carragher saying that he sees a big dilemma for Manchester United with their run-in to the end of the year. He knows they play against City, and he thinks that they... Ooh, I heard myself there. Interesting. All right, so he thinks that it's going to be a problem for them letting City win that title or letting Liverpool win the title, depending on that City game. I don't think that this is actually a thing that is going through their minds because they're in a top 4 battle. But he said he doesn't know if they would rather let Liverpool win the title or see City win the quadruple. So I'll ask you, if you were United, like, I guess from Carragher's point of view, what do you, like, if you had that opinion too, do you think it'd be better to just see Liverpool win the title and City not win everything, or would you rather see City win everything and Liverpool nothing? Dave, I guess you're first here.
I think you would.
Like, what do you think United are thinking?
So United. If you're
What do you
talking
think
about
that he thinks he thought you think?
yeah, if you're talking about United, the club, they're trying to win as many matches as possible to get top 4. If you're talking about what the fans would prefer, the fans would prefer City winning the title over Liverpool winning the title. Now, there is that other piece of City winning the treble or the quadruple, which United is the only team to have done that. And so City breaking that record, I feel like United fans probably would rather Liverpool win the title and then City not be able to win the treble or the quadruple. And so that's kind of what I imagine the fans would say if you're asking me to put myself in United fans' shoes.
Sorry, I actually missed what you chose there.
I didn't really choose anything. I talked through a couple different scenarios. I'm not going to recap them all.
What do you think United fans are thinking there?
We're not.
So
listening.
Did you listen?
No, like if you had to pick one thing, what is it? That's what I'm saying. Would you rather see City win the quadruple or Liverpool win one of the titles?
Liverpool win a title. I think is what they would rather.
Matt, what do you think?
So I think they would rather City win the title at this point.
Nope, but that's not Christian's question.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm answering. Oh, but now we have to. Now that means City has to win 2 other trophies still. So I'm just thinking. I think they would rather City win the quadruple than Liverpool because like that the rivalry and the history of how annoying your 2 fan bases are about those freaking league titles. I think them being ahead right now is like better. What are they ahead by 1 or 2 right now?
I think it's 2, right? At the very least, Liverpool wouldn't pass.
They have 18.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like they would be fine with Liverpool winning as long as City doesn't win the quadruple. Could City winning the quadruple is the ultimate sort of like triumph and trump card over them.
So, okay, so they said that's never been done in the men. They said today the quadruple's never been done in the men's game, but is that in England? Because
I don't think anywhere else has 4 well, I guess France has
France
2
has
trophies.
4.
Yeah.
Right.
But not a lot of other
PSG has won that, yes. Well, they've never won.
They haven't. Yeah, they haven't won.
Never won a Champions League. Oh wow. So we think it's like that's it's never been done, quadruple? That's where we got with that?
Yes, it's never been done.
Okay.
I love when Matt finds something out or like he asks a question and then we give him the answer and then his response is, "Oh wow." And like that's it. That happens like once or twice a podcast.
The more you know, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your section, Chris.
Yeah.
Christian,
I don't really
what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Okay. So I honestly believe they would rather see City win the quadruple than Liverpool to win a title. They're that desperate to Liverpool not win one. I also want to just clarify, they've never won the actual treble of the FA Cup with it. They won the League Cup with it that year, so that's like a different thing, and that's like a who cares kind of trophy. So, just so you know, they never won a true treble. No one ever has in England.
Okay.
Good to know. Okay. Yeah, I would say that they truly would rather see City win the quadruple than Liverpool win a trophy, which is just crazy, but I think that is the truth.
I disagree. I don't think it's the truth.
Well, it is true. I just told you it's true.
No.
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact, Your Honor. Anything else you have on this one?
No.
Okay, and then I just want a little comment here, and I don't know what you guys think about it. So, Mane said, watching City is more pressure on like himself than actually playing. Matt, what do you think of that comment?
I need some clarification. What does he mean, watching
He
City?
said he like literally watches City play and feels more pressure on himself than when he's actually out there playing for Liverpool.
I mean, that makes sense. When you're out on the field, I'm sure you don't think, and I think you're not thinking about
he probably
outside
thinks.
things. Yeah. You're not thinking about the outside scenarios. You're there to win a game, and being on the field, you're there to do your job, and you're not thinking too much until like the final whistle's like been blown. So it's. I mean, I believe it. It makes sense. And it's like because City at this point in the season, like with their form, I don't. So is Newcastle the last time we like lost the game in like January? So I think the end of January. So we've been on this run, and it's like it's probably a lot of pressure, like knowing, oh, next time I go play, I'm gonna have to do that. But in the actual moment, you probably don't think about it.
Okay, Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's more stressful when you're watching and you can't control an outcome. And so I think that's probably what it is. Like if you're a parent watching your kid, you always hear that, they're an absolute mess where, the kid who's playing, it doesn't have that same level of nerves. And yeah, they feel pressure or whatnot. But I think that's probably what he's talking about there. And I can understand that.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think watching City, the machine that they've built there is just frightening. They are just a factory of just brilliant play. Honestly, I don't know how Pep Guardiola does it, but every team he goes to, they are just built to win leagues. They just churn out results, and it's frightening to watch that. Chugga chugga choo choo. Yeah, Dave, good. So it is frightening, and I can only imagine being a professional and knowing that that's the team you're coming up against. This is probably the best team we've ever seen in England, and they're going toe to toe with them. So it is a lot of pressure. Then they have no control over what's happening in that Man City game. So I understand why he's saying what he said, but I still would think he'd feel more pressure actually playing in like a game like we played today. We being Liverpool, obviously, for all y'all listeners. All right.
Yeah. Did you guys know Christian plays for Liverpool?
I do. I played. We won the game, guys.
Yeah, been keeping that under wraps. Big reveal. 119 episodes in, and we just pull the mask off.
Yeah. You're actually curious?
Ugh, don't say that. That's so all right, I'm wrapping up my section on that note. This is Christian's Corner. See you later.
Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I meant to bring up the whole SKC Montreal thing before we went live, and then I just forgot. My B. Dog, that's my B. What's up, everybody? I wanted to give a quick plug for our partner, FNX.network. FNX.network is a website, has all different kinds of content for you across a variety of topics, not just specific to sports. They have sports stuff on there, but they also have entertainment, video games, lifestyle, tech, and more. Tons of awesome content. Go check out our stuff as well as tons of other people's content on FNX.network. Okay. Ready? All right. How's everybody feeling, guys? Okay. All right. Matt's on mute. Christian's paying no attention whatsoever. So I got to make sure we're still going to bring it here. All right. We ready? Give me some sort of eye contact. You bastard. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dave's Domestic Dive. We're diving into topics affecting U.S. soccer here. First up, U.S. men's national team played Chile in a friendly on Tuesday of this week, tied 1-1. Christian, what was your opinion on the match? What do you think about the U.S.'s performance?
I did not watch said match. Okay. I was at soccer practice. But
did you read about it? Did you hear about it?
A little bit about it, and it sounded
just the
like
headlines.
we started the game pretty well, but it seemed like about 20 minutes in, we fell off a cliff, and Chile just dominated us the rest of the game. Yeah, that's about what I got from that.
Yeah, so you do not need to know more than just the headlines.
There you go. Matt, did you happen to watch the game? Any overarching thoughts?
Yeah, I was actually at the game.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. My apologies. Thank you for sending a picture. We put that up on the gram.
Yeah, so being at the game, surprisingly, a lot of Chile fans. I was not happy about that. I'm also a little mad that it wasn't sold out. It was like 80% full, but yeah, we'll get over it. But yeah, starting out with the political, after he went down, I just feel like the entire stadium was just like, the energy just left. Like, it was very exciting, like very loud. Atmosphere was the best atmosphere I've been at, like, for a national team game. I mean, I've been to ones in Philly and
we did the
in
send
New
off.
York.
Yeah, we went to the send off game for the 2010 World Cup.
Rowdy. It was rowdy there.
Interesting.
I will say that. Yeah, to start the game, and literally when Pulisic went down, it got so quiet, and it was just the Chile fans kind of dominated the stadium even for the rest of the game. But it didn't look good, the actual play. After the 20 minutes, we held on, got a result. It didn't seem maybe too positive, but still haven't lost.
Yeah, under Berhalter. I thought Michael Bradley played pretty well. He had a couple really nice passes, and Corey Baird, I think on both of the passes that I'm thinking of, kind of screwed things up, and it was unfortunate. Whereas if he was playing that ball into someone like a Christian Pulisic or someone like that, I think there's a different outcome there. So beyond that, again, I wasn't too impressed with the U.S.'s performance. I was impressed with Greg Berhalter and the adjustments that he made. Something that's always frustrated me about American coaches, at least recent American coaches, and a lot of coaches in MLS, is just how slow they are to make substitutions and tactical adjustments. And it was really encouraging to see Greg Berhalter sort of recognize pretty early in the second half things weren't working, to tweak the system, tweak the way that they were playing, tweak the formation, and then the game sort of ground to a halt from there. But I think that was what he kind of intended by those subs. So from that, I was encouraged. I thought Giassi Zardes had a couple really good touches early on, and they kept getting worse as the match was going. So I'm someone who's not the biggest Zardes fan. And then watching that match, especially in the first, 15 to 30 minutes, I was like, wow, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Giassi can do well at this. And then as the game went on, he kind of reverted back to taking heavy touches, not making the right decisions and stuff like that. And so, Matt, any thoughts there?
We did so many freaking like flick-ons. We played a long ball, and to nobody making a run. It would just be like, all right, just figure this out. They'd either send it to one of the wings or up to him, and nobody would be making a run, and it's not like they were great at hold-up play. So, I mean, once we brought on Trapp, I thought that was the best adjustment we made. We brought him on with Bradley, and then the game from there, I thought we got back into it. But there was a long period where that game was not fun to watch.
Yeah, and I thought Yedlin played really well, too, as a traditional sort of right back. Berhalter's been experimenting with these right back / center midfielders. And so Yedlin got the captain's armband, and I thought had a pretty good performance. He can be kind of erratic sometimes, and I think he was just solid, which is an improvement from my perspective with Yedlin. Christian, any other thoughts to add here?
I don't think Giassi Zardes is very good. We need a better striker, but I think that he did have a couple of good touches in the first game of the international break, and I was surprised with him. And it sounded like he had a nice touch is it the build up to Pulisic's goal?
Yeah, he had the assist.
Yeah, so okay, well, he's doing some things right, but he's definitely not the answer long term.
Yeah, and he's just not consistent enough for me. Matt, anything you want to add? Anything else you want to add here?
I guess the only thing I'll say is this wasn't our full team, so it's hard to kind of judge. But there's definitely some players we need to replace on that team.
No, 100%. I would agree with that. I did think Will Trapp and Aaron Long had a pretty good camp over the two matches. I know Aaron Long didn't play in the second match, but I think both them, I've had questions about them and their national team futures. I think I'm okay with seeing them a little bit more. So we'll see what happens on that front. But let's talk about CONCACAF Nations League now. So for those not following, CONCACAF is instituting a similar thing to what UEFA is doing with their Nations League. So they have a system of promotion and relegation happening at the national team level. CONCACAF's will start in September. And so the U.S. was drawn into a group with Canada and Cuba. Matt, what are your thoughts on the CONCACAF Nations League? Are you excited about its concept and starting in September?
Yeah, I mean, I like it just because it gives some sort of competition to friendlies, but they're mainly just more, they're more competitive friendlies at this point. It's not like you're going to be playing for either the Nations League, trophy or, those honors. You're there to win, Gold Cup and, World Cup and things like that. So it's not like, I'll say this isn't the major award. You're going to try to win, but it's not the, going to be the biggest deal to everyone involved. But I think the U.S. is going to do well. I didn't know how many divisions are there, and so there's not many CONCACAF teams. So is there how many tiers can you get promoted or relegated to?
Well, there's 41, I believe, CONCACAF teams, and so there's 3 tiers. And so within the top tier, there's 4 groups, 3 teams each, so 12 teams in the top tier.
Okay, that makes sense. So. Oh, wow.
See, this is the situation I was talking about earlier.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Christian, what are your thoughts? Christian, what are your thoughts on the CONCACAF Nations League? Are you excited about it?
I am excited about it. I think it's just glorified friendlies. It's more competitive games for a lot of these players who are already playing upwards of 50 games in a year, depending on what competitions they're playing in. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it is something that we need to be doing. I think the U.S. needs to be playing more competitive matches for longer stretches of time to be competitive in the Gold Cup, first of all, and to be competitive in the World Cup. I know they're going to be playing as the same teams that they would in qualifying and playing in the Gold Cup, but they have to be challenging themselves and playing their starters in actual competitive, playing for something type of matches, because that's the only experience that really matters at the end of the day. And this is only going to help with that.
I agree with that. And the other piece about this is the U.S. is constantly in this battle to cap tie players. And, they constantly have dual nationals that can represent at least 2 other countries, if not more. And these matches can cap tie players. And this may be an advantage for them to sort of get players in and kind of lock them in. So that's another piece in addition to everything you guys have said. What do you make, Matt, of the U.S.'s group, Canada and Cuba? Did you like that? U.S. should be favorites here, but what are you expecting from the group?
Yeah, that seems like 2 of the top 12 teams. So I think we should do fine. I know Canada is getting better. They're getting a little bit more talented, but I still think we have the upper hand there against both countries.
Christian, what do you think about the group?
I think it'll be interesting. I think Canada is definitely on the rise, and they're starting to develop a lot of players that we're seeing in MLS. And Davies obviously went to Bayern Munich, so they're going to be competitive, but the U.S. are by far the strongest team in our group, and we should be able to see that out with wins in every single game that we play.
I'd agree. And I'm just looking at this. I think we might have the toughest group, just given the circumstances and the way CONCACAF sort of breaks things up. I think Canada is the best of the second tier teams. And I want to say Cuba, historically speaking, I can't speak for the current Cuba squad, but I think they're generally better than Bermuda, Martinique, and Curacao. So I think the U.S. probably got the toughest draw, but again, I think this only means good things. And it's CONCACAF, so it's all relative, but competitive matches is great. So, Matt, anything else you want to add here?
No.
Christian?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's switch over to the women's side of the game. 13-year-old Olivia Moultrie made her debut for the Portland Thorns. So for those not following this story, Olivia made headlines a couple of years ago when she was 11. She signed a scholarship offer for University of North Carolina at 11 to attend UNC. 2 years later, she decided that she wasn't going to do that, and she turned pro. She signed a 6-figure sponsorship deal with Nike and currently signed with the Portland Timbers. Now, she can't play in the NWSL until she turns 18. So, Christian, let's start there. What do you think about the NWSL having that age requirement?
I don't think it's necessary that they have an age requirement. I think that anyone should be able to play, I guess, at some point, but it shouldn't be like a 10-year-old can walk onto the field and just play. But if you have the skills developed, you should be able to play. Like, these are women who are ready to compete at this level, and they should be able to just walk on and compete.
All right, fair enough. Who was it? Was it Sir Alex that said, if you're good enough, you're old enough? Somebody who is known for, youth development. So that, Matt, what do you think about NWSL having that age requirement rule?
I think it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if it's because is it because of salary and it's not like maybe they didn't think it was something you could live off of at the time the rule was made.
But
so
like
maybe that's
MLS.
Yeah, but you could have part-time. Yeah, but you could have part-time job. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it should be younger, like 16. At least, or just when the players are ready. Freddie Adu is playing at what, 14?
14.
So
There's
Yeah,
15-year-olds in I think there's 15-year-olds in MLS, and there's a bunch of 15-year-olds in the 2 USL divisions.
Yeah, so I think it's something that like, if you're good enough, you can play. So I'm not for this rule.
Christian, what do you think about Olivia deciding to turn pro and sort of existing in this sort of weird environment for the next 5 years where she's training professionally, but she can't like play in official matches. So she did get into a preseason match. That's how she made her debut here. But what do you think about this for her long-term development, Christian?
I think it'll help in her development being able to play and train at the highest level, but it's going to hinder her at the point where she can't actually play in competitive matches, and she's not getting that repetition and just playing actually in a real professional competitive match is completely different. Even preseason doesn't really sum up what it's like to play in those types of games. Not that I know personally, obviously, but just knowing playing in a game different from practice, it really does just make a world of difference. And just having that repetition and knowing the game awareness and everything else, that's going to hinder her at least for the next couple of years.
Matt, what do you think about that, her development?
So I think it's only beneficial for her development, working, at the top level. And I know she's not going to be getting game time, but at that age, I don't think game time is the most important thing. I think just playing. And I mean, she's going to be at practice however many times a week for 5 years before she's playing. And I still think that's better than, the system that a lot of the upper level clubs have in youth soccer or even the NCAA. I think it's more beneficial than that.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I think it's interesting. All of this is fascinating, and she's definitely shining a light, more of a light on the women's game, and so all of this is positive. And I would imagine the NWSL reconsiders their rule and makes it like 16 before.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
Yeah, I would think this situation gets resolved in the next few years. So that would be my guess. The other thing I wanted to throw out is girls sometimes hit puberty a little bit earlier. And so physically, I mean, she looks kind of like she could hang with some of the other women just from a size perspective. And so, from that aspect, I think she can be a pro. And so it'll be interesting to follow her development from here on out. Christian, anything else you want to add here?
Nope.
Matthew?
Nope.
All right. One quick plug I wanted to throw out. Me and a podcast listener, Drew Deal, are working on a potential new podcast, and we're trying to come up with this idea and concepts to develop this whole sort of fantasy soccer world and cover a made-up league. And so looking for feedback, looking for suggestions and all of that. So hit us up on Twitter. We're going to be starting a Twitter for it. And, follow us on @BTSoccerPod and hit us up. Suggestions are appreciated. Matthew.
That seems very much like a Soccer Noob idea.
No, actually, so Soccer Noob was my inspiration, and Soccer Noob is involved in it as well. So I want to shout him out as well. But all three of us are working on this project, and hopefully going to be coming out with something in the next few months, summertime. But we're looking for feedback on team names, suggestions, what you want to see in the podcast. And, it's supposed to get the creative juices flowing and just like kind of be silly and ridiculous, but also, talk about soccer. So let us know your thoughts on the concept, and we'd love to hear from you. Before we get to our listener questions, go check out the Soccer Tavern. It is a YouTube channel making videos about the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. First listener question comes to us from @Glenn_Lawrence. One summer move you would like to see for the top club in Italy, Spain, England, and Germany. So who wants to go first? Who is prepared? Christian, you want to go first?
Oh my God. Wait, the top signing we want to see?
Yeah.
Oh man. The top team you said in
top
each
team.
league?
Yeah.
So does that mean I have to pick Man City?
Yes. No, because Liverpool's technically top right now.
Yes. All right. So
let's start in England. Let's go England and then Matt and bounce back and forth, and then we'll go next league.
Okay. I like that. All right. So for Liverpool, the number one signing I would like to see is an attacking mid, and probably either Fekir or Dybala would be the option, or Timo Werner up front and Firmino in behind.
Matthew, who would you like to see? You can say City too if you want. I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. So for City, I think the most important person, damn it. So I wanted Isco, but at this point with Zidane back, I don't think Isco's out the door anymore. So I'll say Saul from Atletico Madrid.
All right,
It's going to
fair
be
enough.
our most important.
I'm going to say Timo and have Bobby drop back into the attacking midfielder position for Liverpool. All right, next let's go to France. Does that work? Who do you want to have PSG sign? Matt?
I think I want to see them sign. I
feel like they need an outside back. Oh, okay.
You think? Because I mean, they have Meunier, however, he's an outside back, and they have Kurzawa, and they have Meunier.
Does Kurzawa play a bunch? And Dani Alves is still starting.
Dani Alves still start? I thought. I don't know which one starts. I don't watch enough.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Maybe they do need an outside back. Yeah, your turn.
Okay, Christian, who do you think they need to sign?
I can see someone like David Alaba almost going there and being a left back that starts for them.
That's a great one because they just replaced him basically at Bayern.
Yep.
With who?
Lucas Hernandez.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think that's a
good shout.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll say De Ligt too. I'll go with Matt's suggestion there. Let's go to Bundesliga. So technically, Dortmund's on top right now. Christian, who does Dortmund need?
I think Dortmund needs a lot of things. Let's go with Keylor Navas in goal. I think they need a goalie.
Yeah, I was going to say goalkeeper. I was trying to think through who could potentially be there. I don't know if it's going to be Keylor Navas. I don't know if he really fits with the way that they kind of get players in there. So I'll keep thinking. Matt, anyone who you immediately comes to mind?
Yeah, they needed an American to replace Pulisic, so I'm going Tim Weah.
What about Zach Steffen on loan from Man City? Maybe get him in there. All right.
I like that option.
Awesome.
Juve.
Well, I want him at City.
Yeah, but he's not going to start for City.
He might.
Right? So I'm saying on loan. So
yeah, I know.
All right, next one we got Italy, Juve, Matt. Who the hell does Juve need? Goalkeeper, maybe? I feel like goalkeeper, Donnarumma, maybe. Maybe a center back. Yeah. I think their center backs are getting a little bit older. I could see a center back signing being good for them. I feel like their whole team's old, actually.
Yeah, do they? So, like, would they do business with Napoli? Like, if they could get Koulibaly?
I don't think there's any way Napoli lets that happen.
Okay, yeah, I saw today Ancelotti doesn't want him to leave, but I thought we were talking about just best case scenarios.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, who would you like to see? So you would say Koulibaly?
Yeah.
Christian?
Sorry, what team was this?
Juve. Love you paying attention today.
Well, I'm actually trying to get the trivia question ready, so I was checking up on all that stuff.
All right.
So Juve, I will go with a center back. And I know you said Koulibaly already, but I guess I'll put De Ligt in there for this one.
All right, fair enough. And you don't get to, so you should have had the trivia question already ready. So the fact that you're trying to use that as an excuse for not paying attention right now.
Well, no, because you told me you wanted to know about the number of games and everything, so I was making sure that it was all ready.
Got it. Okay, and we could have done that during a break, but that's okay. That's okay. Barcelona. Who does Barcelona need to sign, Christian? Last one.
Barcelona. Wow. I also think they need to sign De Ligt, but I'm going to pick somebody different because that's too easy of an answer. I think that they need to replace Luis Suarez at this point, and they're going to need a striker to just back him up because what is he, 32 now, at least 33 maybe?
Yeah, and he's slipping a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's still able to score goals, but they really need to bring someone in, and that's what they were hoping for with Malcolm, but he's just not the answer there. If I had to pick somebody, that's just a really tough one. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and go all in for Aguero, but I think he's a little bit too old at this point.
What about Lewandowski? I know he's older too. Would he fit?
I don't think he fits Barcelona's style, really.
All right. Matt, who does Barca need?
I think Mane would be a good signing for them, another attacking player.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, and they love taking those good Liverpool players.
Didn't you say there was a clause in the Coutinho deal that they couldn't sign a Liverpool player until 2021?
They will have to give, I think it was like £100 million additional on top of the agreed price if they do.
Theoretically, that may
or
may.
I think it was like a 5-year period. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. I lost my Jovic, the guy who I mentioned earlier up top. So I think that would be someone who Barcelona could sign. All right. Next question is from @Northwood Guitar. Why are we all here? Matthew, thoughts?
I know this was a deep one. I was drinking when I saw this and I went into a rabbit hole. But why are we all here? I don't even know what to say right now.
All right, Christian. Thoughts?
Why are we all here?
Yes.
Well, I think we're all on display and somebody's watching us, like a virtual reality type of thing. And we're just really here to provide entertainment. At least that's why I'm here. I'm here for all of you. But really, it's all about them watching out there.
All right. Matt, anything else you want to say?
We're living in a simulation.
All right, fair enough. Last question's from I am Henry666. Should Pozuelo be a gold card in FIFA? So for those who don't know, Pozuelo just signed by Toronto, had a ridiculous debut where he scored an absurd Panenka penalty and then just had a ridiculous chip with his left foot for a second goal, set up another goal, and just overall was insane. Christian, any thoughts on Pozuelo and if he should get a gold card?
Sure, you can have a gold card. His debut was great, but come on, Henry.
Matthew.
I mean, from what I've seen in the one game I've known about his existence, it looked very good, and he deserves to be better than a 75.
Yeah, he looked very good, which was disappointing as a fellow Eastern Conference team. I think Toronto's going to be a problem this year. And the rest of the conference, I feel like the rest of the conference is going to be wide open. The Union is starting to put together some decent performances and actually scoring the ball. And so I'm really, starting to get a little bit excited about that. But I think Toronto and DC got another win today. Those two are going to be at the top, and Union could be fighting for everything else. Christian, you want to recap our trivia question? We will give our best guesses.
All right. So the original trivia question has changed. I mean, it is the same question, but I have different facts and figures now. All right, so it is 38 games now of Clásicos since 2008 season kicked off, 2008-2009, since Pep Guardiola originally went to Barcelona. What is the aggregate score in those 38 matches, which include, here you go, I'm going to give you some information.
Okay.
22 league matches, 6 Super Cups, 2 Champions League, and 8 Copa del Rey matches.
Okay. So what do you need? How many goals each team has scored?
Yes.
All right. I wasn't looking it up. I'm just doing a calculator on my phone. I'm going to say Barcelona has scored 111 goals and Real Madrid has scored 94.
Okay.
Matthew.
All right. I'm going to say Barcelona has like 118 goals and Real has 72.
How many how many games do you think I said?
You said 38. So I did a quick calculation. Right. It's about a little less than 3 goals a game is what my for Barcelona.
Okay, so the aggregate score is Barcelona 77, Real Madrid 49.
Oh damn! I could remember like a couple performances where Barca just absolutely spanked them.
Yeah.
It did happen a couple times.
Okay, interesting. I would have thought it would have been higher, but I believe you. I believe you.
It's still more than 2 goals a game for Barcelona, which is pretty high against Real Madrid.
It's just barely over 2.
Yeah.
Quick math. All right, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. If you liked what you heard, please leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you listen to us on. iTunes reviews really help the most. So if you're listening on an iOS device, it takes a couple seconds. Just hit that 5-star review if you liked what you heard. And hey, it even helps if you leave like a couple comments. That helps as well. Christian, can you tell people about our Slack channel?
Yeah, if you want to join us on Slack, you got to email us at brostalkingsoccer@gmail.com. Or you could tweet at us at BT Soccer Pod. On our Slack channel, you can interact with us and everyone else in our soccer community about all different types of topics in soccer. We've got the Premier League, all the other top 5 leagues in Europe, MLS, international soccer, transfer rumors, and more. So if you want to join in there, like I said, please reach out to us and we can get involved.
Matt, before I ask you, can you say support here instead of what you normally say?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, I know Christian just said it, but can you remind people where to find us online first?
Well, online, just
at Twitter.
Okay.
On the line?
Sorry.
Like,
Where can
what
you
do you
find
mean?
us on the line?
Where can people contact us on Twitter?
At BT Soccer Pod.
What's our email?
brostalkingsoccer.com.
brostalkingsoccer@gmail.com. What's our website, Matt?
At Gmail. I know, I said that, and then I was like, no, that's our website. brostalkingsoccer.com.
What can people do on our website?
They can read about us, find past episodes, see our YouTube link, and also there's the store link. All you do is Amazon store link. You click that button, takes you to Amazon, and no additional charge to you, but it helps support the show if you go through that link. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we would. So please consider doing that. What's up?
I will say, you made me change. I'm not to blame for the original. What's it called? Start to that section.
No. Yeah, that one's on me. We've cut it out of the podcast, but I'll take responsibility for that. So listeners,
seems like you put it on me.
Yeah, that's not Matt's fault. I messed with his head right before we did the baby. Christian, thank you so much for being here and talking with me this week.
Dave, it was my honor and a blast as always.
I had so much fun. Matt, thanks for being here. Good luck at work tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, listeners, most importantly, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. This week, our interview guest is going to be Jonathan Kastner. He is a sports memorabilia specific to soccer. He owns a sports memorabilia valuation company. And so really excited about that interview. So we're interviewing him tomorrow on April 1st, and the interview will be out as a podcast on Thursday. Join us live for the interview, and let us know if you have any questions, again, at BT Soccer Pod. Any questions for Jonathan? I'm really curious. He also ran a soccer magazine for a while and has just been involved in the sport in a bunch of different ways. So look for that. I'm excited about that interview, and hope everybody has a great week. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon. All right. People on YouTube, Maddie Nips, thank you for stopping by. Other people that have popped in and out, thank you for being here. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.